Well, it doesn't matter what any government says about Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is absolutely decentralized and exists entirely outside of any individual, group, corporation, or government control. Governments are just waking up to the fact that they have no input in terms of impacting Bitcoin whatsoever, and they're moving from thinking, oh, we're going to ban Bitcoin, knowing now that they can't ban Bitcoin, to understanding that it's fear of missing out, or FOMO. The countries that hoard and mine Bitcoin the biggest and the fastest are going to be in a much better position than the latecomers. That's the current position amongst various governments, except for in Europe, where they are literally brain dead, where the EU is coming out and making it clear that they're not interested in participating in the 21st century economy whatsoever. They died. The only thing, but they haven't been buried yet. So that'll come probably in 2022, because I noticed that the euro is going to be parity with the dollar and heading to new all-time lows, probably in the 60-cent region. So the entire EU can be flushed down the toilet, because the leadership there are bureaucratic, sclerotic morons. They can be just disregarded entirely. I think Elon Musk will probably buy France and turn it into a place that's worth going to.
Just side note, were you happy that he bought Twitter?
Sure,
You
why
love
not?
free speech.
But Twitter was being manipulated by folks that were against free speech, and Elon Musk recognizes that free markets and free speech are part and parcel with vibrant capitalist free market economies, and he'll bring that to Twitter. And we're going to see a much improved Twitter, and I probably go public again in 2 or 3 years at 2 or 3 times the valuation he took it private.
Michael Saylor saw the announcement as a massive boost for Bitcoin adoption. So you're saying Bitcoin didn't need it?
I don't see the U.S. dollar, as Michael Saylor argues. I don't buy that argument whatsoever. So I'm not surprising that he would have a favorable disposition toward comments coming out of the U.S. government. I don't see that as being important or relevant either in any case. But he's a guy who supports dollar as world reserve currency. So I mean, if it's his MO, that's fine. But I don't agree with it, and the Bitcoin is not in any way tied to any government's position toward it. Governments have only one decision: either start mining and hoarding Bitcoin or become irrelevant. Right. So you go from a unipolar U.S. dollar reserve currency to a multipolar world with a few different currencies out there. So you have the dollar, which will be a fading currency. You have a gold-backed ruble, which is going to be aligned with China, Iran, Brazil, the BRIC nations. And then you have Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is being adopted by countries. We see that now in Central America with El Salvador. And we can talk about this new fund we're starting, by the way, in El Salvador called El Zonte Capital. You can get information about it if you do an email to hello@elzontecapital.com. And we'll see other regions in Central America and Latin America begin to adopt Bitcoin. And now we see more action in Africa. There's a country in Africa today that just announced they're making Bitcoin legal tender. So that will be a big theme in Africa. Those countries looking to leapfrog the entire fiat money system and banking system and just want to leap into the 21st century, that they can just go to a Bitcoin standard and bypass all this malarkey with central banks and fiat money and all the bureaucrats. They can just go to a hard money Bitcoin standard and be immediately participating in the economics of the 21st century. So we're going to see that. So those are the three developments as the U.S. dollar fades away. You get a gold-backed currency in those countries that have been aggressively buying gold for decades, principally Russia, China. And then you have Bitcoin, which is really the kind of the breakout surprise hard money transformative currency in the world, and that has its own dynamic.
Before we continue, help us clicking that YouTube like button and subscribe now to our channel. This shows the algorithm that you valued this information, and it helps us spread that message. Sharing is caring. And now, let's continue.
I have bad news for you. If you're not rich by now, you're screwed. And if you're in debt, you're even double screwed. How so, you might wonder? Well, the sad truth is that you're working your whole life to make someone else rich. The mega corporations, the banks, the politicians, everyone is getting richer. They get your money. And what is even worse, they get your time, they get your life. You are not even in a rat race, you're in a financial prison. But what could a solution for you look like? Honestly, I don't know, but I know what a solution for me would look like. It's very simple. I use whatever money I have and I multiply it with 1,000. This could make my life much easier and probably yours as well. If you have $1,000 available and multiply this with 1,000, I believe that this could solve some financial issue for the one or the other. Of course, if you're ugly, you would have to multiply it with much more than 1,000. My name is Markus Dahn, and this is what I decided to do. I decided to 1000x my money. This is not a joke. I know what you may be thinking. What is this guy talking about? How should this work? This is not possible. Well, I made a detailed video where I laid out my plan. And some clever folks might even want to look at this plan and copy it and do exactly what I do. This is just a little hint on the side. You have two options. You leave, you forget what you have seen. You do whatever you're doing and you hope that somehow you get some other results. Good luck with that. Or you click the link below the video. You enter your email address because I'm not showing this to everybody. You at least watch my video on how I plan to 1000x my money. The choice is yours. Make the right choice. Join me. See what a different future you could have. See at least how I plan to do the 1000x. So click on the link below, enter your email address, and I see you on the other side. Your Markus Dahn.